What if I told you that Uber can teach you life lessons that go beyond making money? What's up? I'm Pedro. I'm a 29-year-old digital marketer who has years of experience making viral content and making more businesses money with video. But before I even got into social media in the first place, I was literally doing Uber Eats specifically for 100 days. And here's what I learned. If you guys have watched some of my other videos, I talked about my transition going into my business, coming out of a sales job, door-to-door sales job, and I needed something that would make me money. I couldn't just sit down and basically say, I'm just gonna let live and let love, you know? I can't allow myself to just sit down and not do anything about my life and not take action, right? So I was like, all right, cool, so then what's the thing that I can do right now in order to earn some money? Because I still have bills, right? Roughly, my bills around the time was like maybe $2,000 or $3,000, something like that. So I only really needed to make $2,000 to $3,000 a month in order to just keep my lifestyle the way it was until I found something that actually worked, right? This was back in 2023, and I was like, dang, I was looking for a bunch of different jobs and stuff like that. I was applying everywhere, you know, feeling so sorry for myself that I was getting out of my sales job because I wasn't earning enough money, and it was just literally soul sucking. And then I got to Uber because a lot of my friends at the time were doing Uber, like Uber Eats, Uber driving people around, and all of them said like I could literally make $1,000 a week just from doing Uber. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, if I only need to pay like $2,000, $3,000, it would only make sense to try this so that way I can actually like make some money off of Uber overall. Shout out to Uber. But I did that for roughly like 3 months, and it was going good. I'm gonna be honest. My girlfriend at the time, she was basically telling me like, dang, like you're really hustling out here. So it's like, yeah, I can't stay still in my house. Like that's ridiculous. So what I would do is I would get up at like 4:30, maybe 5 o'clock in order to beat the morning rush to Boca Raton, where my girlfriend at the time had a job, so I would be able to go see her in the morning and then roughly do Uber Eats up until I met a specific quota, which is roughly $200 a day, right? And if I did $200 a day, that would equate to $1,400, right? You know, not including overhead, which you have to pay for gas and like car stuff and, you know, making sure that you have food and this, that, and whatever. So roughly the goal was $200 a day. The schedule for my job, right, in Uber was essentially wake up 5 in the morning, beat the morning rush to go see my girlfriend at the time, then hang out with her for a little bit, maybe go to the gym, and then roughly around like 6 o'clock, by the time that I was already over there and the morning rush was starting to happen and people were starting to order stuff, I would be doing Uber Eats up until like literally 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. So roughly 12, 14-hour days of just doing Uber and nothing else, you know what I'm saying? Just driving consistently. And it was cool. I'm gonna be mad honest. It was a really cool experience. I got to read a lot. I got to listen to a lot of different podcasts. I learned a lot about myself over the course of those 3 to 4 months that I was doing it very aggressively, and it was cool. Like it was very sustainable, to be quite honest with you. Obviously it was putting wear and tear into my car, but it was very sustainable for what I needed at the time. And until I got to the point where I was like, dang, you know, like I'm really exhausted, you know, just getting up at 5 in the morning every single day and just working my butt off. And I would ask myself, is like, am I spending my time wisely? I realized that I was earning money, but I was missing out on the time that I could have used for other things, like building skills, working on a business like I've always wanted to. I mean, I've been wanting to work on a business ever since I even got into sales in the first place. I got into sales mainly because Alex Ramosi said, if you don't know how to do anything, get into a sales job and learn how to get kicked in the face every single day. So I did that. And I also at the time could have just been resting with the amount of time that I've just been like basically working my butt off. The big takeaway was that money come and goes, but your time is absolutely priceless, right? So you really got to use it for the things that matter for you. The second lesson that I learned was that sometimes you just need time to think, and we go about our lives with like really time-consuming things happening out throughout our day, and it doesn't really allow the opportunity for us to think about stuff. I mean, my mentor even told me one time, he was just like, Pedro, you need like an hour or two every single day to basically do nothing, because that's where the magic happens, as Rory Sutherland says in Alchemy, right? And I took that to heart, you know, but I didn't realize that at that time, right? It's like when you're driving, there's really a lot of silence if you're not listening to the podcast or music or anything like that, right? So at first, the silence felt a little weird, I'm not gonna lie, but over time, as time passed, like day in, day out, I started to appreciate it, right? It got to a point where I wasn't even listening to anything in the car for multiple days straight, right? And I started to realize that when you're with yourself all the freaking time, you have so much time to think back on things that happened in the past, and then also things that you could have done better, also things that you really want to accomplish in this world, right? Which is, you can't really put a price on that, because most of the time we don't even have time to think about that stuff. So if you're feeling stuck, try creating more quiet moments in your life. It doesn't have to be necessarily during your work schedule doing Uber or your work schedule anywhere, but you might be surprised with the clarity that you get. Number 3, everything comes with a cost. Literally everything. Driving for Uber isn't just about picking people up or picking food up for people and just dropping them off and then just going on your way. It's mainly the wear and tear on your car. Like literally so many freaking miles that you have to drive on a consistent basis every single day. If I literally had to put an estimate of how many miles I was driving every single day, it would probably be like close to 50 to 100 miles, maybe even more than that. And not only that, rising gas prices, the hours that you're spending driving all day, and the hours that you're spending away from family and loved ones, right? It made me realize that every choice we make has a cost. When you boil it down, it's like, you want to make more money? That might cost you time with your loved ones. You want to chase your dreams? That could mean giving up comfort and stability for a really long time. The key is really knowing what everything costs and what is worth it. For me, the cost of Uber was a temporary trade-off in order to give me the time to figure out what my next step was. But it reminded me to be intentional, not only with my time, but also with my energy. So driving for 100 days straight with Uber wasn't just about making extra cash. It really just taught me that time is your most valuable asset. I don't care how many entrepreneurs say that, it's so true. 2, quiet moments can spark really big ideas, so it's absolutely necessary. And every choice comes with a cost, so make sure you choose wisely. So for all my entrepreneurs in transition, just like I was, if you're thinking about doing something like Uber or, going to a part-time job, or just taking a break from everything just to reevaluate your life, remember that this is not just about what you're willing to gain, but also what you're willing to trade to get to that next step that you need to take. So you just learned what I learned from doing Uber for 100 days. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe, because I put videos out like this every single week and you don't want to miss them. And if you're a business or a contractor that needs help developing a system to make more appointments come into your business so you can make more money, click the first link in the description. Would love to see how we can help. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.